You're listening to Maximum Medicine Radio with host Doc Martin. How do you step into your maximum potential? How do you connect your spiritual drive with your physical path? Get ready to meet the maximum you the world needs on Maximum Medicine Radio with Doc Martin now. Hi, everybody. So Maximum Medicine again. I'm going to talk with Sarah Grace today because, over the past years, I've pulled in people who are tapped into the spirit world and people who are healers. And I'm coming back around because Sarah caught my eye again a year ago because she helped me when my dog was dying. And I just thought we need to talk more. And sure enough, when we connected, it's like the energy just started bubbling. So, Sarah, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to see you.
Thanks for having me back. It's great to see you again.
So I was talking to Sarah because once upon a time she lived in California. And when I first heard about her, she was working as a first responder, a paramedic. And we had talked about, because she would literally be energetically helping the people in the traumas, and they may have been passing on at that moment. And I thought, let's talk about how she sees things. And because there's many ways of perception. But it turns out she's now, for 3 years now, Sarah, in Santa Fe.
Yes.
And she's not directly first responder, at least not in the literal world ambulance sense, but she sure is in the energetic sense. So we're going to talk about that. So Sarah, I'm so happy. This is so good.
So good. So good. Yay.
Yay. Let's talk a minute, because when you were working as a first responder, you were assisting the souls in the trauma.
Correct.
There are many ways that these energetically tapped in people, mediums, psychics, remote viewers, how do you see energies? When you say, take an example when you were at a trauma as a paramedic.
Great question. Clairvoyance has always been my strength. So the ability to see, and next is to feel and know. So clairsentience and claircognizance, right? All the clairs. Essentially, just ever since I was a kid, I've been able to see auric field colors around people. And over time, it developed into being able to almost see into the body like an X-ray, if you will. So my specialty and strength now is along the medical intuition line, just because of my anatomy, physiology background as a paramedic and the hands-on knowledge of that. I have the understanding, but when I look at a person, I can see the overlay surrounding of the general auric field. Now, the auric field is actually a living organism. It's just energy moving a semi-permeable membrane that has thousands of transmissions. It's data, right? It's electric, it's magnetic, it's pulsating. It's quite complex. It's not just one color. I love when people are like, what color is my aura? It's like, well, right there, it's because there's 7 primary layers that are in accordance with the 7 primary chakras. We have more, we have 12 primary chakras, but most people are familiar with the 7. Additionally, the hemispheres of the auric field are very important. There's the front and the back, the left and the right, above crown and below feet. And so when I'm just looking at somebody, I'll just kind of notice any areas of an imbalance. I can see if there's holes or tears. I can see if there's leaks. I can see if there's colors. Or most people in today's world are like walking around like they have their finger in a light socket. So their nervous systems are just fried. Cortisol is dumping through the cells, widespread inflammation that looks kind of cloudy and hazy in the field. We can see into the organ systems for blocks and all kinds of stuff like that. And that's just on kind of a general glance. When I was working as a paramedic, 15 years, girl, 15 years, 911 in California, amazing. And I was able to utilize my abilities as a sensitive, as a clairvoyant or a seer in the moments of transition. So that looked different for everyone. A medical death, what I noticed, 15 years, hundreds and hundreds of deaths and dead bodies. Medical deaths are different than trauma deaths in terms of what the individual experiences. So, a medical death is a little bit more organized in the sense, say, we have a hospice or an end stage disease process. The person who's dying, their field begins to expand and become diffuse. And we hear it all the time, like the astral travel, and there's
Hmm.
the deceased loved ones and relatives and pets joining them in the room, that kind of stuff. And in the moments of death, you and I are familiar with agonal respirations like guppy breath breathing and heart rate just knocking out. Well, the chakras begin to, it looks like a ribbon unfurling. And typically it goes from the base of the spine, very organized. Sometimes it went faster, sometimes a little slower, but I noticed that it was very uniform. So there's something of a higher order at play here. It's divine, in other words.
Hmm.
So the chakras release, and my experience is that I would see the soul come out the top of the head. Every once in a while out the chest, but not usually, usually the top of the head. And
As they're unwinding.
yeah, as they're
Hmm.
unwinding. And after watching and witnessing this for so many years, I began to understand that is the light at the end of the tunnel experience,
Hmm.
is the chakras, and they're going towards the crown. Coming out the top of the head in a fine mist, they would go up to, like, it was always up in the right-hand corner of the ceiling, and they'd be like
Hmm.
gathering with the deceased family members or pets that were there to greet them. So it would be this really kind of succinct, uniform, kind of beautiful to watch
Hmm.
experience, and then a family reunion up in the corner of the ceiling. So
Lovely.
that was a medical death. So
Hmm.
nothing to fear, you guys,
Hmm.
in death. I have personally never seen anyone not be greeted by someone or something,
Hmm.
whether it's a religious archetype or a pet or an angel or a celestial. Nor had I ever seen, and I've seen more death than a typical person probably, never seen anything dark come to like snatch away. So we can just soften on any fear. There is nothing to fear in death.
Hmm.
And in the trauma response, it was just slightly different because the person was just knocked out of their body, suddenly. So there wasn't the expectation or understanding, the preparation time, any of that. So obviously, as a paramedic, there's a lot of logistics to handle in both cases, but especially in a trauma, whether it's a shooting or a car accident or whatever, logistically handling the what we needed to do treatment wise. But the soul just got knocked out, and usually they would be standing next to the car or standing next to their body. The soul looked just like the person except translucent. I could see through them, and they were always confused. Like, wait a second, I was just driving through Starbucks getting my latte, and now what is going
Hmm.
on?
Hmm.
And so telepathically, over time, I began to understand I could just talk to them, talk directly to their
Hmm.
soul because they could see that I could see them. And working on their bodies and handling everything logistically we needed in that sense, while simultaneously being like, okay, you're dead. We're going to pull you out of the car. We're going to start CPR and get you to the hospital, etc. But there was confusion until uh, pretty much every single trauma I ever ran, where there was a cardiac arrest, a celestial or an angel appeared. And an angel to me is just consciousness. It's not
Hmm.
like winged beings as much as this really beautiful cobalt blue, kind of shimmering silverish light. It's just love, it's nurturing, it's calm, and it would always come. You have to understand a 911 scene is very chaotic,
Hmm.
and it would start like fireflies, and it would start to grow into this form, and usually about 8 to 12 feet tall. And again, I personally, I'm not saying it doesn't exist about the winged being,
Hmm.
but for me, it was more silhouette and just consciousness that would just calm the entire scene. And the person who had just died was like, "What?" And they start to look at this consciousness, this being, and eventually they would go into an embrace and then they would disappear. And at that time, I knew that the person had died or transitioned. And, we still had to do what we needed to do logistically. But those were my experiences on 911
Mhm.
calls, and I did that. It was really an honor, to be honest with you.
Well, I was thinking as you were talking about when I worked as a hospital doctor in the ICU, and there is an incredible sacredness to being present with someone as they are transitioning. And in the ICU, there many people fought it. Many people were resigned, but they stayed because their family was all crying and holding them. But even in all that pain, it is a huge honor to stay present.
Mhm.
A huge, yeah.
To me,
Mhm.
so profound because you think of all of the thousands of people and different experiences that person had throughout the entirety of their life, and they had this whole life,
Mhm.
and then you're there at the final stage, the final moment. And to me, death is graduation. It's just taking
Mhm.
off a heavy coat.
Mhm.
And again, nothing to fear in it, but definitely an honor to witness.
Yeah, I feel that. Yep. So we were talking about how, at least in the trauma, that people weren't organized. It was not a logical unwinding, and not and I was thinking about today's people, live people who are not dying. But I was thinking about my patients, and let's talk about what you notice in your healing work. And I'll digress a minute. We have a physician assistant student with us this month in my clinic. And I was saying to her, trying to tell a story to her about something. And I said, you may not know that you're seeing somebody's energy field because you've never been told to look for it or to put words to it or even to validate your sense. You probably pushed it aside. But I said, take a minute in these next few weeks you're here and look. And just even if you put words to it, even if you can't see something, do the people look cohesive? Are they a coherent structure or are they scattered? Because we were talking about a patient who is likely, she's had some trauma. She's likely a split personality in terms of she's fractured. When I look at her energy field, she is totally fractured. And I said, you will see people they are not coherent. They are not centered. And just practice. And I was explaining to her, you might not have to have words for what you see, but just feel. Does this feel solid to you? Does this feel like, whoa, split, fractured? And I was thinking about how many people, and for me, it's young people, are not grounded. They are not, and they're not really, I would say they're not invested in the world, at least the world that we elders have delivered to them.
Right.
They are not happy with the way things are going. And many of them are checked out.
Yeah.
Add to that, and we talked about this a little bit before we started the recording. Add to that the amount, and I'll use this buzzword. I mean, it's a very broad word. They are inflamed.
Mhm.
They are emotionally irritable. Physically, their body is not smooth, not humming in a smooth fashion. Their thoughts are scattered, and their ability to connect to nature, to spirit, to anything is, psh.
Right.
And I just fear that in all this turmoil, I mean, face it, our planet is not really going the way most of us think it should.
Right.
Our quote leaders, we don't trust them.
Mhm.
And a lot of young people, they won't even vote. And I'm old enough to be able to say, but don't you get it? You have to vote.
Mhm.
That's the whole way we change it. The system is broken. Everybody sees that it's broken.
Mhm.
They feel powerless and they're checked out. But
Mhm.
it shows up. And you tell me what you're seeing in your clients. It shows up in their physical well being.
Oh, absolutely.
or unwell-being.
Absolutely. And we can add to the healthcare system that you and I have both worked in as clinicians and been part of. You know, a lot of people are just over that too, tired of being pushed pills and recommended
Mhm.
surgeries and not getting to the actual root of things. And so there are a lot of people that are looking to holistic and energetic and
Mhm.
other modalities as well. So there's just so many things that people are seeing through kind of top to bottom. Inflammation, disassociation, apathy, depression, lethargy, all of those I've been seeing for quite a while.
Huge
Additional
amount of substance abuse,
tremendous, huge amount of suicides.
alcohol, the amount of vaping young people are doing.
Hmm.
And I mean, I said to one young woman, she's maybe in her late 20s, and I guess one of these Zyn pods that she vapes is the equivalent of 5 packs of cigarettes. I may not have the numbers exactly right, but the magnitude is right. And she's doing like a pod and a half a day. And I'm like, hold it. Do you know? Are you aware? Are you having all the poisons of other things that a cigarette would have? Well, probably not. But you are getting serious nicotine, and that nicotine is a stimulant. Are
Hmm.
you wondering why your heart is racing? Are you wondering why you can't settle your thoughts?
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hmm. What I'm seeing is a lot of people at the edge,
Mhm.
um, a lot of reassessment about will to live. And I personally find that that's a very important discussion to be had, frankly, because if somebody doesn't want to be here or they're committed to not being here, that's uh, going to be huge in the way that things unfold for them and present.
Mhm.
And even if they say they're going to stay or want to be here, but they don't have that will, it's important. So I think that sometimes people are scared to admit that they're over it. They don't want to be here. They may not necessarily take action, but it can be scary to be like, this is too much. I don't resonate with this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to feel like this anymore.
And it's emotional torture when you don't resonate with it.
Totally.
And when you see no value for yourself because you have absolutely no investment
Right.
in this F up that we have presented our younger people.
Right. And
And
the
then you have, for me, I have to struggle. And when I'm in my clinic, I don't have real time to talk spirituality, but I have to struggle to get people to find a purpose where their presence and energetic and spiritual intention can shift the tide,
absolutely.
and how to teach people that. And you have to really spend time with people to teach them tools to feel that and believe in it and
Oh,
believe it's going to work.
totally. And another factor as well, Sharon, is just the disconnection between individuals, between people. Like
Hmm.
we have lost community, right? Everybody is holed up alone on their devices and
Hmm.
ingesting all these substances and the toxic foods and all of the things. And so we're kind of in this microwave environment where
Hmm.
top to bottom, everything is kind of wonky in that sense. And having just,
And COVID did that to us.
and what?
COVID did
Oh,
that
yeah.
to
Oh,
us.
put it on blast. I mean, we were
Right.
kind of headed that way anyway, and then that just put everything.
I think I have some PTSD from the first 2 years of COVID because I was telling this to one of my patients. They were grumbling about the mandates, and I said, we didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
This was a virus we never heard of, and it scared us. And I said, I'll share my experience. When I have a healthy hiker, athletic young man of the age of 47 die,
Mhm.
I'm petrified. And I'm petrified to go in the room and lay hands on you.
Mhm.
Because what if this horrible thing jumps on me? We didn't know. We didn't know anything.
Right.
And I mean, it made us go, wait a second, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, that was really something. And the isolation, that really caused significant isolation. And I don't know if
Mhm.
I really recovered from that because people got used to that disconnect. And as far as having a sense of purpose, I'm right with you because if people have a sense of purpose at all, then there's that a little bit more like, okay, this is a lot. It kind of sucks, but I'll be
Mhm.
here for this, right?
Right,
And so
right.
that purpose could be as simple as like having a pet, or just having a conversation with somebody like this, where there's a meeting of the minds and people can truly express themselves, be heard, be validated, be seen and supported for who they are and where they are. And
Well,
just
you
having,
just said something that I went, whoa, now I see it. I have never before in my history of being a physician have I had this except the past couple of years. The requests for permission to take to the apartment building for an emotional support animal.
yeah, you see it
Sky, I mean,
everywhere.
we never heard of it.
Have you been to the airport lately?
I
There's like
know, I know.
so
And then
many
then
dogs,
there's
so
somebody
many cats.
posted on social media about their emotional support peacock that they took on the airplane. Um, but you hit on why, and I didn't understand why. I was like, this is wacko.
Yeah, it's just, humans looking for some sort of connection, right? And I've been on a little mini donkey and mini goat kick lately. If you've seen those TikTok videos going around, adorable. And so that's been my running joke lately, is I'm going to have a miniature mini
Okay, so I'm
emotional
gonna tell
support
you,
donkey.
I live in South Central Pennsylvania. I
Ah,
live on a 38-acre property. I'm
beautiful.
in love with animals.
Mhm.
So I have a horse, and my girlfriend's horse stays here. And when I bought this property, they were from retired veterinarians, were the previous owners.
Yeah, beautiful.
And they left behind Gina, a miniature donkey.
See, here it is. This is synchronicity.
She is the, she's not communicative the way a dog or cat might be, or maybe even a horse. She doesn't come up to you to nuzzle on you. But if you come out of the house, she knows when I'm waking up in the morning, even if I haven't turned a light on, and the barn is several hundred feet away, and
Wow.
she'll holler. And she's the
Pretty.
smartest one in the pasture.
Wow.
And she is just, everybody loves her,
Yeah, absolutely.
you
It's
know?
a thing. Well, so I'll take that as my synchronicity to
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I must get that. I will manage
Oh,
that.
that,
But where we are as humans, really a pivotal point. And so as far as we're just in a big reset phase. Now, if we subscribe to the ascension, the 5D, I guess it's the hip new thing to talk about the 11D. Have you heard about that? This is kind of a new incoming thing in
mhm,
the spiritual world, makes me chuckle. Um, but all of that is what it is. And obviously, clearly, we're going through a great shift. And so, really, what it is to me is the invitation to pull back personal power, start to understand consciousness, start to understand the mechanics of physiology, the mechanics of your energy field and what your system
mhm,
actually needs. And all of that is great, but we have to start with accountability and people being willing to take that responsibility and that power into their hands. Culturally, we're taught to acquiesce our power. We have, listen to teachers, listen to doctors, always be chasing, always be pursuing,
mhm,
never,
mhm,
never allow yourself to rest. Never, it's always just we're on this hamster wheel. People are exhausted of that. And then the disconnect that we've talked about. So we're reaching to numb. Okay, we get that. We can understand. We've had
mhm,
tremendous rates of suicide. Tremendous. I think we're still on a big run of fentanyl. It was oxy for a while there. Now we're on fentanyl still, and mostly alcohol, though. There's just all kinds of crazy stuff out there
mhm,
that's happening. So we're seeing a lot of people that are hitting the button like, okay, this is too much. I'm out. Okay, I totally get it. So for the rest of us who are still here, we're looking at the shit show. It's just this
mhm,
gigantic
mhm, mhm,
moving thing.
Hmm.
And it's almost too much. At this point, the pot has been boiling at high for so long that if we are continuing to plug into that and be outraged by everything, we are just siphoning our energy and our power
Hmm.
out into an abyss. It's a vortex and it'll just steal your life force. So it's good to be informed. I'm not going to advocate, bypass or sticking your
Hmm.
head in the sand, but the power is within each of us. And the power is consciousness. It's our attention. So our attention is the ultimate strength. It is the ultimate kind of having that awareness and being willing to be
Hmm.
like, yeah, I'm just going to turn off the TV. I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to just feel my body because there's so many people that live in their heads and they're just being terrorized and bombarded, not realizing that they have the power to unplug from the external, to not get caught up in this screaming about all of the things, and just to take a time out. Like, go lay down, man. Take a
Hmm.
drink first, drink some water. You're probably dehydrated, and throw some lemon in there or some electrolytes because your system
Hmm.
needs it. Go lay in the sun for the love of God. Like, get the vitamin D, bolster your system, take a nap, like have a snack. Just most people just need this is what I found, a hug,
Hmm.
a nap, and a snack, really, just to like calm down for a second.
Well,
From
you said two things here that I want to chime in. The hardest thing I can do when somebody is sick who comes in is to get them to take time off
Mhm,
and to stay at home and sleep.
right.
I mean, it's shocking. Now, many of my patients are blue collar and they work hourly jobs and they are not granted sick time. So they can't financially do that. But even so, it is this go, go, go.
Mhm,
And you said something else that I want to stop and talk about is in all of this holding, and I'll tell you a story. I've been working with a spiritual teacher now for, gosh, long time, 15 years at least. And she is she basically is an energetic engineer
mm,
and understands planetary and universal energies. Really and articulate and smart. And you just first you think no way, and then you listen and you think she's on it. But she talked about, I said, I used to say when I was first doing my shaman training, and all my classmates are tripping out with the fairies and the angels and the this and the that. And I was comparing myself and really, really feeling like I didn't have what it took. Like I wasn't getting it there out there in the ethers. And I feel like I am literally with my feet in the bog, in the swamp.
mhm,
And one day she said to me, she said, there are those of us whose job it is to be the anchors,
mm.
the linchpins of holding the stability of the reality as it's changing,
Yeah.
because you don't want the house, the roof to cave in.
Mhm,
And she made me see that what I was doing was very, very important. And
yep,
it wasn't about flying and finding new dimensions and tripping out to the edge of the universe. And, because I was like, but along with that came a tiredness.
oh yeah.
And then we talked earlier before we started recording the burnout that
Mm,
we have been doing when we're doing these energetics.
mhm.
I don't know about you, but how much do you do energetically that's not with somebody in a actually a scenario with that you call, okay, I'm going to do energy work. How much extracurricular energy work are you doing?
Well, the way that my system is wired, I'm on the ultra sensitive side of the
Hmm.
spectrum. And so I'm always feeling and sensing, and I can't,
Hmm.
my clairvoyance is always there. So I'm always seeing
Hmm.
energy, and it's just how it is for me. So my system is always kind of running at this higher wattage or amplitude, if
Hmm.
you will. And it taxes my nervous system a lot. It taxes my
Mhm.
adrenals a lot just to exist. And over time, I've developed protocols and a system and an understanding. I
Mhm.
fought it for a long time. I didn't want to be like this. I went through all of the things with that. But then it got down to brass tacks when I realized this is how it is for me. What am I going to do about it? Nobody's going to come do it for me. I
Mhm.
have to figure out how to thrive in this body that is a very, very sensitive system. So developing that curriculum, but paying attention to burnout is real. And it's the sense of overwhelm, uh, being in this heightened state for so long culturally, because we're taught to externalize and always be producing and going and striving. We actually, as a culture, are addicted to outrage. Everybody's running around all pissed off about something, right? Screaming
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
something, about how upset they are,
Mhm.
outraged they
Mhm.
are, or offended they are. And it's like, okay. So that's one. And the other is just we get addicted to productivity and addicted to always being busy, busy, busy.
Doing.
And who are you if you're not doing? Well, if you're
Oh,
not
that voice in my head is so strong. Mhm.
I've spent so much time with that over the last
Mhm.
long while, but especially over last year because I was paramedic I did 20 years total because I did law enforcement chaplaincy work during COVID. So that was a whole other side of body recovery during COVID for me. So I did a lot of clinical work in that,
Mhm.
and then I've had a full-time practice for over 10 years now doing medical intuition and helping people integrate
Mhm.
traumas and addictions and all of the things. So, very high level of being a provider and always on. So, I've been monitoring myself for burnout because it just seems to it's getting more and more intense
Mhm.
uh, with, what people are experiencing.
My animals are doing the heavy lifting right now because they're saving me.
Good.
The land, the nature spirits, and the animals are where I can reset and replenish.
Yeah, it's vital.
Tell me about the book you wrote.
So,
This is exciting.
thank you. So this is actually my third, and it's
Mhm.
Empath X is a community that I've founded for sensitive people or just people who are kind of at their edge, but are more sensitive in nature. Very short, succinct, to the point protocols of how to thrive in this world if you are sensitive. So this is called Your Lifeline for Thriving on Earth as a Gifted Soul. The
Mhm.
paramedic in me is just realizing that people are so saturated, they just say it. So it's very short and to the point, but it's like essentially, if you absorb everybody else's energy. So this is what your symptoms, this is why it is, this is what to do in the moment, and then this is what to do long term, and then here's tools for you to use. Just boop to the
Boom, boom, boom.
and then here's like overwhelmed by sensory input, tools that you can learn how if you're confused about your gifts and why you're the way that
Mhm.
you are, all of those things. So I just put this out last year. It's been very well received. And again, people are just they want to understand why they feel or they are the way that they are. Two, have support in other people that can understand them, right? We're in a world today where people openly talk about clairvoyance or mediumship or what all the things.
Mhm.
And it wasn't always that way. So it's nice to
No, it wasn't always that
it's
way.
nice,
Mhm.
especially for us, like in the medical
Mhm.
world or in like a clinical
Mhm.
setting, or scientific or whatever. For me, it was all the alpha male firefighters. Like I couldn't be the girl who sees dead color or dead people in colors, you know. And
Mhm.
so again, we're just kind of in this saturated culture where people are exhausted and inflamed, feeling disconnected. But conversations like this can help to just spark little bits of like respite for people. And then it's just like I like to put the little pieces really close together and just do these things and you'll start to feel better. And it's
Mhm.
basic. We don't have to go on some 2 week tantra retreat. You can if you want to, but that's not really it. We want to create a life that we don't have to escape from. And that starts with what we're doing every day. So hydration, direct sunlight. It's going to be about grounding your nervous system. You can do
Hmm.
that through breath. You can do that through grounding practices. Go outside, lay on the ground,
Through tapping.
tapping, Epsom
Hmm.
salt baths, cold plunges. There's all kinds of ways.
Hmm.
From there, you want to understand how to clear your own energy field. And it can be, again, as simple as going in the sunshine for 10 minutes. There's lavender spray, there's rose water, there's sage, there's Palo Santo, there's juniper, there's
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
beautiful tools. Doesn't have to be a whole thing. 10 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning before you get going to just kind of anchor yourself, as you were talking about, getting yourself centered. One thing I've noticed, Sharon, is
Hmm.
most people are so analytical and freaking out. They're up here, their energy is locked around the cranium.
Hmm.
They're hypertrophied. They look like bobbleheads. Okay.
Hmm.
There's a pinch at the occiput, right, where the energy is going to come through the foramen magnum,
Okay.
up down the cranial nerves. And it looks like a cork in a wine bottle. It's all their frenetic thinking that's getting stuck, and it makes
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
mental energy get really big. So they're top heavy, and then they're forward leaning because they're always like, I got to do something. I got to go. I got to do. So,
And with all of that, even the spiritual download of inspiration isn't coming through to creation.
right. It's getting blocked because
Hmm.
people are so bogged or so,
Hmm.
again, like, it's like being electrocuted. So just think of it like this, very simple. Like you're holding a beach ball. We're going to deflate it. You're calling your power back, and then seat yourself in your pelvis. Simple. Back, down, back, down. Soften the back or soften the lower jaw. Relax the back of the neck and shoulders. Feel
Yeah.
the energy go, especially through the back. Most people are so aware of their front body, but they're not
Hmm.
aware of the back side of the chakras. And so just activating and softening through the backside is going to allow the energy to drain because we have to anchor. You're never going to be able to be fully powerful in your gifts if you're not anchored in your body.
Hmm.
We've all seen the people, kind of floating in the universe. That's cool if that's what they want to do, but to be very powerful in terms of manifestation and creation, we have, and in gifts, if you want to hold
Hmm.
really huge currents, we have to be anchored. So you can
Hmm.
start with something as simple as back, down, dilate or envision the root chakra, just dilating down at the base of the pelvis. And you can invite the energy, anything that's no longer in affinity with your highest and best purpose, to just drain down the vertebral column, just like an oil change. Do that seriously, 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be
Hmm.
hard. And then from there, gut biome health, right? Like, oh my goodness, hydration, get some good nutrients, direct sunlight, take some breaths, move your body. You're going to feel like a different person. And then we can start to lean into, okay, so you see dead people. All right, this is what to do. Okay, you're hearing
Yeah,
voices.
right, right,
All right,
right.
this is what this is, right? Yeah.
It's interesting. Medicine is very, right, regular mainstream medicine is very, very good at many high-tech things. Very good, smart, genius, good. And luckily, nowadays, for those of us who need science to follow along, what our gut microbiome does for us.
Man.
I mean, it's beyond what any of us ever, we talk about leaky gut, you
Mhm,
know, um, but it's bigger than that. It's
mhm,
literally mood,
mhm. Oh, it's everything, girl.
it's immune system.
Programs,
Yeah.
compulsions.
I mean, there's one scientist who studied a tribe in Africa that, ate the way most of us don't eat. And they have, let's say we have 100 bacteria species in our gut. They have 1,000. And that returning to eating, I say to my patients, the way God made it. God didn't make a packaged box of mac and cheese,
Right.
but he did let you have plums in the summer and greens. And anyway, But
Mhm.
that literally feeding your microbiome has been shown, if you need the science for it, huge, huge influence. And that's
Well,
why people who rush to come to see me when they have a sore throat or a head cold that's a virus, I really don't want you to take antibiotics. I'm going to do my best to not let you take antibiotics. I hate that.
mhm. And one step beyond that as well are the parasites and parasitic overgrowth.
Hmm.
So we are the only one of the only countries that does not deworm our population. And there are so many people saturated with parasites and worms. And it's gross to think about. And it's
Hmm.
also the reality. And as we do cleanses, you could do castor oil packs, you can do, there's all kinds of different products and things.
Hmm.
If you are going to go into that world, definitely become educated. Because if you do something that's kind of short, it might just exacerbate things. But like doing a really healthy detox, a parasite
Hmm.
cleanse, and then heavy metal detox, making sure you're having regular bowel movements, coffee enemas, saline enemas, colon hydrotherapy, gut biome health, it dictates your entire vitality of the physical body. It literally
Hmm.
perfuses every single organ system. So it's vital to health, and we want to get a handle on that. Some people are like, yeah, I don't know about all that. So just drink some water again with electrolytes, go in the
Hmm.
sun,
Hmm.
take some breaths, right? We got to start where we are. And then it's again looking at as well, what are we addicted to? And people are like, I'm not addicted to, hey, everybody's addicted to something, man, even if it's
Hmm.
scrolling or purchasing things on Amazon, right? Like, let's just be real. So start to evaluate, are you addicted to busyness? Are you addicted to chaos? Are you addicted to emotional intensity? I got into,
I'm addicted to finding cute videos on TikTok, Punch the Monkey in the
what?
Japanese zoo. So he was shunned by his mother and he loves his
Oh,
keeper.
he's that little guy.
And there's this zoo outside of Tokyo, and literally people are lined up for miles to see him. Or the TikToks, so I find refuge in the happiness of that, or the videos of orange cats where they're just basically lying around being slugs, and it's another day of being orange and jobless.
I love it so much.
Anyway,
Those are good
so
addictions. Those are good
punch the,
addictions.
yeah.
I think
So
I've
Sarah, we only have a couple minutes left.
okay. Yes,
First, I want you to tell people how to find you and remind them, that you do individual healing work.
I do. So sarahkgrace.com, Sarah with an H, kgrace.com. You can find session information there. So I work with people
Mhm.
all over the world remotely. And then we have the EmpathX community. So if you are
Okay.
sensitive and overwhelmed and looking for real community, real support, we have that for you, as well as links to all of the books. So sarahkgrace.com.
And one message for people of all the things that will help them, what's one thing they can do today?
Well, let's practice bringing your awareness and energy back and then down. And then I just want you to really think about today. So many people are so overwhelmed with out here that they're missing now. They're missing
Mhm.
today. And not in the be here now spiritual context, but just like, can you just take 10 minutes to bring your awareness to something very simple and allow yourself to just have that present awareness? Because ultimately, you guys, all of us are going to die at some point, but will you let yourself live? That's the ultimate question. And I really invite you to start thinking about like, what do you want to do? And let yourself do it. So it may be have the piece of cake, it may be burn the nice candles, use the nice silverware, like do it now, above
Mhm.
and beyond anything today.
I love that. I'm so happy we got to hang out together today
Adore you.
and
I think you're great.
reconnect to you and sarahkgrace.com. And you can see her book, Empath X, and she has two other Empath what?
Empath X.
Yep.
Yep.
and 2 other books, and you'll find those on her website.
Yep.
And
Everything's
we are together in our own little worlds. We're going to help you remember how good it is to be human, to reset, to replenish yourself, to avoid burnout, and keep bringing your gifts forward, because that's how our world evolves.
Oh.
Thank you. Bye. You've been listening to Maximum Medicine Radio with Doc Martin. Tune in next time while the doc talks health, spirituality, and the impact your beliefs have on every part of who you are, body and soul. Doc Martin unpacks the challenges we face as human beings. To learn more about Doc Martin and Maximum Medicine, visit www.sharonmartinmd.com.